podcasting from Northwest Pennsylvania. You're listening to the Gen Extra Podcast, a show about Generation X, movies, technology, weird news, and anything else they feel like. Join them every Monday morning. Now, here's your hosts, Dave and Joe.
All right. Here we are, Breeze. We're back.
We're back.
I don't know what episode we're on, but 216 maybe? I don't know.
Oof, that sounds right.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, how's your, I meant to ask you last week, how's your spring going now things are warming up?
It's going okay. We had a wicked storm here in
yesterday, right?
Yeah, Northeast Cleveland. It was yesterday and the day before, lots of rainfall. Fortunately, where I'm at, there's a lot of like local lakes and water reservoirs and stuff. So
it picks up more wind. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say like picks up more wind.
No, we got good drainage though. So if there's like a rainstorm or something, we don't have to worry about flooding quite so much. But the windstorms make me nervous because we have a lot of really large old growth trees, and boy, when those puppies come down,
they take a house with it.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. Windstorm took a huge tree down, knocked out the entire neighborhood for 4 days.
Oof.
We lost like all the food, everything. Refrigerator only lasts so long, and yeah,
it's not going to keep your stuff that cold for very long, unfortunately.
No, it's really not. We had to pitch so much stuff. I mean, granted, that's the worst that happened. Unfortunately, the tree didn't come down on the new one's house, but it did take down power for like the entire neighborhood for 3 or 4 days. It was crazy.
Yeah, I have a giant maple tree right behind my studio. And I'm always so nervous that during those big storms, it's just I'm going to come outside one day or be in here and just have that thing come crashing through the roof.
Right through it.
I'd be so upset.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Knock on wood. That never happens.
Yes. And it better not happen when I'm there next week.
Yes. Oh, yes. Teasing. Little tease, Breeze.
Easier deployed. We're going to do an in-person show at Dave's studio.
Yeah. I think we should let people know what we're going to do next week, Breeze. I am nervous. I'm so nervous.
I know, especially for that last one. I will save it, but I will say for listeners, tune in next week as well. We're gonna have a fun show in a style that we've not done before, so that'll be good.
Are we just gonna leave it at that? Let them figure it out next week.
We'll leave it at that. Just tune in next week as well. Keep listening to today, and then tune in next week.
Yeah. You're not allowed to listen next week. You're going to finish the show.
We're gonna lock it down.
Yeah, but now speaking of spring, one thing living in the country, I know it's not everywhere, but it's definitely this is where you'll find this particular problem. So, like when people get these nice days after being cooped up all winter, it's like 65, 70 degrees out, like it's gorgeous, and most people are like, all right, let's crack the windows open, let's go outside, like let's let the house air out, and you just want to just enjoy yourself out in the yard, maybe do a little porch cleanup, whatever you do, pick up some, riffraff around the property. Anyway, we have a hard time doing that out here in, the great land of Dempseytown because we have multiple fields around us that they grow like soybeans and like field corn, stuff like that. Well, they have to fertilize them in the spring.
Oh no!
And they tend to use like chicken or pig crap. And dude, wow! When they get those spreaders out, holy good God, it stinks, dude! It just the whole neighborhood just reeks of poop. Like it's terrible. It smells like a barn. Like my gripe is like, so these people they'll lease out their properties or they're doing it for themselves, whatever. They're not eating that corn, maybe they're using it for livestock, who knows, but whatever it is, it's for their own benefit, whatever, whether this, like I said, leasing the property to somebody else, they're getting paid. All right. We all have to suffer for a good 2 weeks unless we get a really hard rain, which happens. So the smell has gone way down. But yeah, so I always thought, I'm like, why can't they just like map out like everybody within like, I don't know, call it like 2,000 yards, maybe even 1,000 yards, gets like a little piece of that because we have to suffer. I'm talking like
just you need a compensation, right?
Yeah, like just drive by,
Yeah.
hand us like $50, but all right, at least I got something out of this stink.
Some fertilizer hush money.
Yeah,
Like,
something.
here, here's
God,
$50. Shut up.
just ruins the neighborhood for 2 weeks.
That is rough. That is pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I wanted to talk about, and we are going to get into some weird news here because we had to bail on it last week because we couldn't stop talking about pyramids. Do you ever buy anything on eBay?
Oh gosh, not in like decades.
My God,
It's been a long time. Like college was the last time I bought something on eBay. To be honest with you,
for real? Why not? Like, are you just afraid of people's like stuff they want to get rid of?
no. It's just it's the types of things that I just buy or don't buy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, a lot of things I just haven't needed things on eBay. I don't know what I would even get.
Yeah,
I really don't. I sound very boring, but I genuinely like. I don't know. You're the master, man. Like of finding stuff. You're a finder, and I'm not that kind of person. I'm really. I don't know. I'm not. That's not my groove. It's not my jam. So no, I haven't really gone on. My kid bought a Chromebook on eBay
All right.
a couple weeks ago. That was it. That's the first eBay package to arrive at my house.
Oh, well,
It's
there
crazy.
you go. I mean, it's risky. It is risky.
Well, yeah, and he actually, he's encountered that already. Because he bought one that was really cheap, and of course, there's a reason it was really cheap.
Missing buttons and like screen broken.
Exactly. So
yeah. Well, the reason I ask is because I got my daughter a camera. She loves like these old like digital point and shoots that we used to use back in like the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And we had one that was like a Panasonic Lumix, point and shoot camera, and it sat in a drawer forever. And one day she told me, this is probably like several years ago, like 4, 5, 6 years ago. She's like, I really want to get one of those. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I think we actually still have one. So I dug it out of the drawer, found the battery, and she used it for a while. And it was like, there was something going on with it at the time. So we were down in Pittsburgh and I picked her up a used, I don't even remember brand, Olympus maybe. I bought her one from a pawn shop and gave that one to her. And it was in good condition. And my niece liked Grace's digital camera. So my sister-in-law reached out to me and she's like, hey, it's like, Bella really likes this camera. And I'm like, oh God, I told her where I got it. I'm like, I'm sure you can find the same thing on eBay. So I just quickly got on, found one, sent her a link. And that was the extent of my research. I just found it, like didn't look past the first one I stumbled across. It was basically to say like, they exist on eBay. Like, here's one.
Yeah.
Well, she just, she's like, all right, well, I'll buy that. So she bought it, didn't really look into it like I did or like I did. And it arrived and she was like, she had messaged me. She's like, there's a lot of like sand coming out of this thing.
What?
Yeah, sand.
What? Okay.
So like at first it wouldn't even it wouldn't turn on. It wouldn't read the memory card. So I kept trying to like have her work. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe there's like maybe they had it at the beach, who knows? And a couple of grains of sand stuck to it. Well, anyway, so finally, she's like, I can't make this thing work. So I was like, I'll stop by and get it. So I brought it home and I tore it apart. And dude, I kid you not, there was probably at least a tablespoon worth of sand inside this digital camera.
All I keep thinking of is, did someone try and taxidermy their camera?
Right, yeah.
Full of sand.
Oh, dude, I couldn't believe how much sand came out of this thing. And for somebody to knowingly have like, I don't know, dropped it in the ocean and found it like a month later, I don't know how you would get this much sand inside of the thing unless it was literally like in the ocean.
It was probably a beachcomber. Like my thought is that someone
a beachcomber
found this thing buried under, half a foot of sand.
Yeah, brushed it off, called it good enough.
It sold it on eBay. I mean, they probably sell a ton of crap like that. If you think about that, you see those people out there, and that's all they're doing. I bet you that's what happened. Is a beachcombing find.
Yeah, it was rough though. It was really rough, and
I bet. Well, you're not incentivizing. You're not really enticing me to change my ways and start to go on eBay and buy crap again. I think the last thing I bought on eBay was a set of Magic the Gathering playing cards back
Wow.
in probably I know.
Wow, dude.
Probably like 2001
Okay.
was the last time that I had purchased something on eBay because like we just buy a bulk pack of those cards.
I would never ever say those words. Like,
Well, and I've just told our entire listener base. I have no shame in it. Honestly, what's nice about this, I literally have a sealed container of all my old cards. They're just sitting safe and sound.
I'm not kidding.
Eventually, they'll be worth something. Some of them already are, and I'm like, you know what? This is going to be like what our parents' baseball card collections were like back in the day.
Yeah.
That's hope. My hope and my dream is that I've got a bunch of really valuable, absurd Magic the Gathering playing cards from 30 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, good. I hope you do too.
I hope I do too. right next to my unopened VHS copy of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Which we've talked about on previous episodes.
Yeah. Oh, but to sum up the camera
Andy camera, did you get it to work?
I did, yeah. After tearing it apart, there was like sand in the shutter button, so the shutter button was stuck. Anyway, got it all put back together. It works fine. There you go. But yeah, problem solved.
I wish I had a soundboard. I'd play that clip from the Star Wars prequels. I hate sand. It's coarse and it's rough. It gets everywhere.
Yes, this is some fine sand too. It was a lovely beach wherever it was at.
Hawaiian beach,
Yeah.
white sands.
Yeah,
there's no Ohio beach. There's no fine sand in Ohio. That's it's not bad. I shouldn't say that. The sand in Ohio beaches aren't terrible.
Got to be better than. Well, no, I mean Erie's not bad either. Like,
well,
where they dump the sand, but like down by the water is pretty rough.
It is. Well, the sand on the beaches in Erie, at least at one point, used to be trucked in from Ohio quarries. So Presque Isle beaches at one point were, I don't know if they're still doing it, but at one point they were being supplied with Ohio sand, quarry sand.
I think they piled it up far enough that like it just slowly like makes its way down to the shore, so it kind of maintains like sand for a while because there's so much of it laying around up there.
Yeah, and they may be doing local dredging too, because I know they dredge.
But there's huge dunes up there. It's actually really picturesque. I like going up there for photos.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, you can get, honestly, as much shade as I might throw on it, you can get some great photos on Presque Isle.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you want to jump into some weird news, Breeze?
Yeah. Well, first of all, this was
hang on. I think we need to play our intro, if I could find it. Here we go.
From all across the world, there are stories to be told. The strange, the bizarre, funny, freaky, the abnormal, and extraordinary. Grab your beer or pour some booze. It's time for the weird news.
In that intro, it was like, oh, grab your beer. I'm like, man, I really should just get a beer when we're recording. It sounds good.
Too bad it's in the afternoon.
It's Friday afternoon when we're recording this, at time of recording. So,
yeah,
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I feel like these stories that we have on here, they're all kind of weird. So I think they all kind of fit here.
They all kind of do. I want to kick off with the one that I found from, a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Headline is Jay Leno rolls down the LA street in a tank.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. This is like a surprise to no one.
No.
Funny. Yeah, so this is LA. Jay Leno spotted driving a tank down the road in Los Angeles.
What was he doing? Is he going somewhere like...
Seen popping his head out of the tactical vehicle as he rolled down a residential street. It was outfitted with tracks, long barrel mounted on the front.
Was there like a TV crew following him around? Because I feel like this had to be some sort of publicity thing or for a TV show or something.
It looks like it's all locals. So the video and photos I'm seeing is it's a residential street. I think people just came out and started taking pictures. Yeah. Let's see, came to a stop beside bystanders, poked his head out to say hi. I mean, so it was somewhat of a promotion, right? I mean, he's a celebrity, but
that's just
chatting. He joked he's patrolling the neighborhood to keep everyone safe.
See, that's funny. That's funny. But I think the only reason he's able to get away with that is because he's a celebrity, because he's famous.
Oh, absolutely.
If Joe Schmo, had a tank and decided to drive it around the streets, he's probably going to get SWAT after him. He's going to be in deep shit And
Yeah.
he can't just be like, "Bah, just having some fun, just trying to, have a little joke with my tank." They'd be like, "Oh, all right, he's having fun." Like, no, he's going to jail.
It really looks like it. This is just crazy. And it really, I don't know. I can't tell from the tracks on this thing. Like, I would think those would damage the road. I mean, it's tank tracks. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're not. They're not the
rough.
most delicate tread.
Right. Exactly. Like, oh, well, whatever. Yeah. So he's got a tank. Just, they see me rolling.
You see me rolling and hating. Did you ever see the movie The Interview?
No. Is it that's with Seth? Is it with
Seth Rogen and what's his name? The other guy. Yeah, James Franco.
There we go.
Yeah, they went over to interview Kim Jong-un for their talk show.
That's right.
He had a tank, and James Franco's like, can we drive it? And he's like, the montage of them driving it around was hilarious. It kind of made me think of that when you're talking about this.
I haven't seen that. I should watch that movie. I like those two as a duo. I think they had a falling out in real life.
They did. Yeah, they did. I don't know exactly why. I think it has something to do with James Franco's women problems. I don't know exactly what that was. I remember hearing something about it, though.
I don't know. Well, this isn't the Hollywood Gossip Podcast.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No.
Next, you got some fun ones on the list I want to hear about. Go ahead and share.
All right. I'm saving the best 2 for last.
Okay.
This one has to do with snake.
Oh no.
So I don't have the video or a link to it. I'll just describe what I saw in this Instagram reel. So this gentleman, I'm assuming from a different country, he was playing with a snake, like a king cobra, and you know how they sit around it and they do their thing where the cobra comes out of the basket and whatnot. Well, the cobra bit him. Like, that sucks.
Because that's what snakes do.
That's what snakes do, and that's the allure of the whole scene. Is like, oh, is he gonna get bit? How's he gonna?
Right, yeah.
And they'll tap him on the head. Well, the snake tapped him on the head, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh no, he bit him in the junk.
He bit him right in the wiener, dude. He had a whole snake mouth full of wiener.
Oh my gosh, that's like a worst nightmare.
And it wouldn't let go. Like, sometimes snakes will bite and then they'll try and get out of there. Oh no, the snake was just hanging on for dear life. Had a hold of this guy's wang, and you're talking about panic setting in for everybody. Awful to see. So yeah, I guess that's really all there was about that story. I just thought I'd bring it to everybody's attention that don't play with snakes.
Yeah, don't smack snakes around. Here we go. Just respect the snakes, and they'll respect you back.
I don't think they will. Will they?
Get some smacking them around. I would think most animals, if you as long as you follow their rules,
give them a little wide berth, they're fine. They're going to come after you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Like, but don't go smack it. Don't go shove it in the basket and smack it on the head. What the hell do you think's going to happen?
You know what I like about rattlesnakes?
They make noise.
They let you know they're there.
They do let you know they're there.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to bite you. They want to just scare you off.
Get out of here. Yeah. Go the other way.
Big apron on their head, right? Like, it's like, hey, this is a big old back the heck off sign. You got to read the sign, man.
Yeah. They.
Or get bit in the junk. Whoa.
Yeah. Did you ever see the ones that spit? They're spitting cobras.
I've seen videos a while back on those because they need to be more dangerous, right?
Yeah, like the holes in their fangs, face forward, they don't shoot straight down. So when they rear up and they make their head all big, they'll fire like 15 or 20 feet. They'll just like a squirt gun. Like a huge blast of venom in your eyes, and it can make you go blind. It's terrifying.
All I'm thinking of is that scene in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah,
the spitter reptile. That's all I can picture right now.
Yeah, with what was it, Ned or whatever his name was.
Yes, Ned.
Gendry or something.
I thought it was Nedry.
Nedry, it's Nedry. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Nature is horrifying.
Nature is horrifying. Was this in Australia? Because everything in Australia is going to kill you. I don't know.
No, I don't think this was, but
Okay.
No, I saw a shark attack video too recently.
Oh, that's also scary. Although easier to avoid, granted, you know?
I don't
There's not
know.
many.
I don't think so. No, this was in like
If you don't go in the
3.5
water,
feet of water. Oh yeah, you stay out of the ocean, you're not going to get attacked by a shark.
see, problem solved. I am perfectly safe in my office right now.
Yeah,
Ain't gonna be no sharks come and bite me.
you have a 0% chance of getting
I do. I
eaten
have
by a
zero.
shark.
Yes, I guess Sharknado might be the alternative to that. That could bring the sharks inland.
Yeah, but that's very, very unlikely. Pretty much impossible.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I mean,
True.
if a shark happened to get swept up in a tornado from the ocean and it got plopped down in your yard, you can still pretty much avoid getting eaten.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the shark. It's not going to be the shark attack that's going to kill you. It's going to be the blunt force trauma of getting hit.
If you got hit by a 2-ton shark, yeah.
Projectile shark.
Yeah. That, yeah.
To quote Ron White, it isn't that the wind is blowing. It's what the wind is blowing. Doesn't matter how strong you are. If you get hit by a Volvo, doesn't matter how many press ups you did that day. Yeah. So you got to be careful. It's not necessarily the wind that'll kill you.
Yeah. I guess there was a new documentary on Netflix about like the tornadoes that ripped through the Midwest like several years ago.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there's a Netflix documentary about Sharknado. I was going to be excited.
No. But no, my wife watched it, and when we had those storms, like 2 nights ago, last night, whatever it was, she was a bit more nervous than normal, like after watching this documentary. So yeah, like that low grumble that you hear in the sky.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like after watching a horrifying documentary about tornadoes, yeah, it's going to put you on edge a bit more. So I'm glad I didn't watch it. Yeah, when you start getting a bad storm, do you go outside? Like, do you go out like to your porch?
As it's coming in, I might poke my head outside as it's coming in just to kind of. There's something about the wind, like the air pressure, the temperature, especially if it's like twilight hour, where it's just like it's light enough, like it's not the middle of the night, right? But it's like late in the evening, so you get kind of like a sunset glow.
Yeah,
and like I kind of like that, like before the storm, right? When the wind's starting to pick up, the pressure system kind of changes. It's kind of a chilling sensation to be out in that. But believe me, I'm going to be back inside before that storm actually hits. I don't like to be outside during that. Plus, I don't really have like the covered porch space that you do. You got that wonderful front porch where you're covered for a bit. We don't really have that. The front of my house is a complete flat facade, so I don't really have a front porch, and my back patio is a very high cover, so rain can get in laterally very quickly.
Yeah.
You get soaked. So it's more that I don't have a place to watch a storm like that, or watch like a cool rainfall. Not really at my disposal.
Yeah. No, I mean, we our porch is the same way. Yeah, it's like you're gonna get blasted by the wind and rain, but yeah, when it starts howling outside, you hear that grumble, that wind picking up, and you see the trees start blowing pretty hard. I get excited, and I'm out on the porch, and usually Carrie's just like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Why are you going out there?" I'm like, "'Cause I want to see it." like I want to watch this thing come in. And we used to try and like chase tornadoes when we were younger.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we were never successful because we had zero equipment. We didn't have the instincts either. Yeah, but if a storm came rolling in, we're like, let's go. We'd jump in the cars and just take off. And we didn't see nothing. But yeah, it was fun though. The chase was fun.
I guess that would not go against my instincts. But hey, you know what? Nature's awesome. Sometimes you just gotta have fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I got one more story. Actually, I got two more stories before I get to the main.
All right. The main event.
Yeah. The main event. Let's see. So this one's a little bit odd, I'll say. All I have is a screenshot. I don't think there's a link to this unless I put it in the notes. I don't know. But this, the title of the story was on the news. Like there's a screenshot of the TV newscast.
Okay.
The Texas butthole tickling bandit.
What?
Has finally been caught. And oh wait, no, this is fake. Wait a minute.
I've got a real one. If you got catfish there.
You found so the story is legit, but maybe this title is fake.
No, I don't know that. I don't know if that story is legit at all.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I do have another weird news story that we can fill in if you think you're being catfished.
I might be getting catfished. I saw this and I got real excited.
Well, no, you have to remember it's April Fool's with this past week, so some of the news feeds, some of the stuff that's out there is a little bit sus.
My mind, like, I was geeking out. I'm like, this is amazing. It's horrifying, but it's amazing. Like, this guy, he broke into people's houses, not with the intention to rob them, not with the intention to kill them. He supposedly broke in to like just a little bumhole tickle. That's got to be fake. That's got to be a fake story.
Yeah, that's got to be a fake story because the real story would be how many times that person got shot.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Like you've been dead the first time.
I don't even have access to a firearm, and somehow if that person entered my home, he still would have been shot. It would just would have magically happened. Karma would have been like, what are you doing? Bam. Be like, but I don't even own a gun. Doesn't matter.
You just figure it out. What did you find? What story did you find?
Well, here's one from the Associated Press. Jury convicts a thief who stole a golden toilet from an English palace.
Who makes a toilet out of gold?
It was apparently an art installation, but it is a functional 16-karat gold toilet.
Like solid gold?
18 karat. Sorry, 18 karat gold. I think 24 is solid gold, right? So this is 18 karat.
Well, still, it wasn't like plated. It was.
Well, it doesn't specify.
Still,
it says it does seem like it is just
gold,
solid 18 karat gold, insured for nearly $6 million.
Okay, it was solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
You imagine putting the seat up and down? It weighed like 80 pounds.
This was an audacious raid which had been carefully planned and executed. Those responsible were not careful enough, leaving a trail of evidence. Quote, the purloined potty has never been recovered, but it's believed to have been cut up and sold.
Oh, for sure.
The satirical work titled, quote, America, by a conceptual Italian artist, poked fun at excessive wealth. It weighed 215 pounds, and the value of the gold at the time was $3.6 million. So yeah, solid gold toilet.
Wow.
Yes, this was a 39-year-old convicted of burglary in England.
I don't know if it was solid because like a regular toilet is still a little bit weighty, and they're just like porcelain, porcelain coated some kind of stone. But they're like gold per ounce is really heavy. Like one bar of gold, I think. Yeah, look, can you Google like how much does a bar of gold weigh?
Yeah, I can check that. I mean, this one was like,
I'll say it's like 45 pounds, maybe. Yeah,
it could be
something like
20, usually about 25 pounds.
25 pounds for a bar of gold. Okay.
Yeah, 27. It looks like 27 pounds. 27.4 pounds is your typical standard. It's a 400 ounce bar. So I guess I didn't realize, I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't realize there was a standard size for a gold bar. It seems like there is a standard size for what you'd call
like
gold
kind
bar.
of see like the movies if they're hijacking or robbing.
Yeah, I always thought that they were always like uniform out of, I mean, obviously they'd be uniform, right? Because they're being molded.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there are standards, right? Of course, it's gold standards, but it's kind of cool that a gold bar is pretty consistent in its size and weight. Yeah, but they stole almost 220 pounds of solid gold toilet. That's a planned heist right there. They need to give them heist credit.
Maybe it was gold the whole way through. Man,
it had to have been 220 pounds of it. I mean, most likely.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some base metal reinforcement in it just so because it was functional, so it would sustain human weight on top of it. So I don't know. Really weird though. But yeah, so gold toilet. They're in prison now, but no one will ever see the golden toilet again. Took it to the chop shop.
Yeah, it melted it down real quick. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move on to the next story.
Yep.
All right, this one, Breeze. This one gets me.
Okay.
So right here in the great state of Pennsylvania.
Oh yes.
Yeah, about I want to say maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I think roughly about 2 hours northeast of us is the town of Kinzua, and famous for the Kinzua Dam.
Kinzua Dam. Yep.
Yeah. Recent sightings have been made by the dam, like in the forest around the dam.
Dam.
Yeah, and there's also the old railroad tracks back in, I want to say 2003 or 2002, when we had that huge microburst hit in this area.
Mm-hmm.
It took out the Kinzua Bridge. It was this huge bridge that went over this gorge, and a train bridge, and it knocked it down. And they've kept part of it up, so it's like a skywalk now. Like, so you can walk out like 100 yards, still, and then it stops.
Oh, it just doesn't connect. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a tourist attraction now. They've kind of made it into something, and they left all the bridge parts in the bottom of the ravine, just lying there, so you can come and see the aftermath. 20 some years later from that microburst. It's kind of neat. I actually never been there, just seen photos of it. But recently, somebody captured a photo of Bigfoot.
Dun dun dun.
Yes. I think I actually had that sound effect somewhere, but
probably.
Oh, there it is. Yes, Bigfoot, Breeze. I mean, I gotta say the pictures look relatively convincing, but I'm still not convinced.
Is it sufficiently blurry? It has to be sufficiently blurry, or it's not Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah, it. I don't understand, like. And I mean, I know they probably took with their phone maybe, and it looked like ass. They had to zoom in and crop it, but the general shape that I was looking at, you can probably Google this too. It might show up for you.
I am. I'm trying to look at it right now.
It looks pretty good as far as what you would imagine from everything else we've ever seen about Bigfoot. Yeah, it looks like it could be a Bigfoot. I still don't believe it though. I can't, even with this photographic evidence that it could have been a Bigfoot, still not enough for me.
It's funny. You talk about, oh, they took it with their phone. Dude, have you seen the quality of phone pictures these days? Like, it's good. So I don't excuse grainy pictures for
this guy. The guy that got this probably still happened to have like a Nokia flip phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 1 megapixel. Like, so I don't know, dude. It's just like, come on. I need a better picture. I need Bigfoot.
So I don't know if I'm looking at the right article or not. I'm seeing if this is the right dateline. This is Messamore, Pennsylvania. What's the dateline in this story? This was published March 21st, 2025. Would this be it?
Let me see. No, I mean, maybe. It was definitely recently. I'm going to also Google as we speak too. All right, so Bigfoot.
What I'm finding is that it looks like it could have been like basically like a stand-up, like a decoy, if you will, put out there to mess with people.
Okay.
Like, did you see video or is it just a photo?
Just a photo.
Yeah, so you don't even see it moving. So in my opinion, it's probably something that somebody set up out there to look like Bigfoot.
Oh, I think I see the one you found. That's not the one I saw.
Okay. Oh well.
Yeah, but again, maybe I got bamboozled on April Fool's again. I don't know.
Apparently we got to keep Dave away from the internet in early April because you're just getting had.
I am
left, right, and center here, my friend.
Yeah, it's very possible. But even if not, I still don't. I'm not buying
it. Now, here's what we should buy. I think we should buy this next news story though, because this looks pretty legitimate, if funny. I don't know if you want to talk about this. Is there another one before the Bridezilla one?
Nope. This is it.
Man, I was looking at this one. So yeah, you could take the point. You found it. You should definitely take the point on this one.
Yeah. All right. So being in the wedding industry, sometimes when this stuff crosses my my news feeds, I definitely gravitate towards it. This one is, what was the title of this one? Was there a title on this? Oh yeah,
jaw-dropping list of 37 bridesmaids rules.
Yeah, I think it says somewhere in here they had to like sign off on this. They just signed this as like almost like a contract.
It was the screenshot I'm looking at, or the photocopy, is a signed contract.
Yeah. All right. So a bride had 37 things listed. I don't know if we'll get through all of these, but For her bridesmaids to be her bridesmaid, she had rules in place, and you had to sign for
Go
it.
to the rules.
Let's just start going through some of these.
Yes.
You start at number 1.
All right. Rule number 1, I will not try to convince the bride to change anything in her wedding. This one I actually think is kind of fun. I think if you were going to make, maybe not a signed contract, but if you were going to make a rule, be like, this is my wedding. Can you just shut up? I feel like that's like a polite conversation you could have. I kind of get that one.
Yeah.
Again, not endorsing the signed contract aspect, but I do think rule number 1 is reasonable, right?
It is. I don't hate that rule. But I kind of feel like I think this came from like other people. She talked to other brides, other friends maybe that got married, and kind of like just started collaborating and getting what do you wish was different about your wedding with your bridesmaids? And they're like, oh, I wish that this wouldn't happen.
Okay.
So I think she was collecting like these horror stories, and just literally like took 37 of them and made a contract.
So these get absurd. So that was the normal one. Let's do these in bursts of 5. We can alternate.
Okay.
I will not talk not talk negative about anyone in the wedding.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It's tough. You're going to talk shit.
Yeah, you're going to talk shit on somebody.
Here's where it gets a little bit. I will not gain more than 3 kilograms between now and the wedding.
That's mean.
That's mean. You went from reasonable to unreasonable, but a reasonable ask, I suppose. Like, be polite to people. To don't gain weight. That's the F off line for me. I'm like, no, I think I'll do what I want with my body. Thank you very much. That's rude.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's so there's like they don't have to make like alterations. But what if you lose weight? I mean, you still have to make alterations. Like,
well, you still do. Like, I mean, it's like, oh, whatever. That I don't like that one. I think that gets mean right there.
It is mean. I'm sorry. Let me stop at that again because, like if it's based around having to do alterations, or let's say because like a lot of people before a wedding, like I got a wedding in a year, I'm gonna start dieting because I want to look my best, in the tux or in my dress. People do that, so it must not be so much in the alterations department. I think it's just in the sheer looks department.
Yeah. So it's very rude.
Very rude. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on number 4.
Very rude. No, it's okay. I'll wear only black or dark brown hair the day of the wedding. Highlights must meet with prior approval. Like,
I'm assuming she's a blonde. She wants to be the only blonde, perhaps.
That's actually from the photo. No, looks like she's a brunette. So
okay, that's weird then.
A little weird. And number 5, I can't wear any lashes the day of the wedding unless professionally installed.
Wow. So no DIY. Yeah.
Yeah, no DIY eyelashes. So I'm okay on that one. All right, you take the next one.
All right, here's number 6. I have to attend the bridal shower and bachelorette party, fitting and rehearsals and the wedding. Only time this can be missed is death or jail, pregnancy over 5 months, and some sickness with recent doctor's note. Wow. So you have to be present for all activities.
Or die.
or you have to be dead. Okay. Or in prison. I will take care of my skin, hair, and nails from now until the wedding. What?
Yeah, I'm with you. What?
Wow. All right, number 8. The bride will choose my makeup artist the day of the wedding. Okay. I mean, I guess.
I mean, usually they like have a day, don't they?
Yeah.
Like
they usually hire a makeup artist.
So yeah.
Number 9, I will agree to wear the dress the bride chooses regardless of my own opinions, style, or color. I mean, I think that's kind of a given.
Kind of a norm anyway. I mean, unless they say, hey, pick something within this color as long as it... Because I've known some brides who are like that. It's like, just everyone wear like a certain color of blue, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to match, but if you're matching dresses, you're all wearing the same thing anyway.
I've actually seen where brides have given bridesmaids just free will of whatever they want to pick. And
I kind of like that idea. It's like, hey, just look nice for the wedding.
Yeah, it was actually kind of cool because it was like a neat mixture of colors, and it wasn't just normally it looks fine anyways, but it was kind of cool though. Like I didn't mind it. All right, let's see what we got here. Number 10. Yeah. I will not wear any extra accessory items of clothing or jewelry the day of the wedding except My wedding ring or engagement ring. Okay. What? No,
Again,
no earrings. No.
yeah, weird. Like,
necklace?
I want to wear a pair of diamond stud earrings. Like, I can't wear those. Like, what the hell?
So she does not want to be like outdone at all.
At all. It's
Okay.
just weird.
This is a great list.
I
Keep
will
going.
not
Right, number 11.
Here we go. I will not intentionally fall pregnant before the wedding.
Well, that's easy to get out of. Just say it was an accident.
See, legal loopholes with Dave. I will support. Here we go. I will support the bride in everything she chooses. Okay. I will not consume more than 7 units of alcohol. Here's where Breeze comes in. Units? I don't know. What's a unit of alcohol for the Breeze, Dave?
Yeah, that would be a glass of wine.
Yes. I
and
could
we
definitely.
know what Breeze like after 4 glasses of wine.
So picture me after 7.
Oh, dear God.
During any event except the bachelorette party, there's no limit at the bachelorette party, so you can get as shit-faced as you want.
Okay. All right, that's fair then. So she...
Interesting concession.
She doesn't want people to get shit hammered, like leading up to or probably during the wedding at all.
Yes. All right. I do want to share a quick funny story on this one. Deviation. So at my brother's first wedding, the bride and the bridesmaids actually had like a ton of champagne, like in the ready room, but it was in the church, which you're not supposed to be, drinking heavily in a Roman Catholic church. So that was a problem. So my stepsister comes out. I'm just like waiting around, like in the church, just kind of waiting as the best man. All of a sudden, my stepsister comes out of the women's ready room and she hands me 4 bottles of champagne, like empties. And she's like, "You need to get rid of these." And I'm like, "Okay."
Wow.
Some people are finding a place to discreetly dispose of their ill-gotten booze the morning of the wedding. Anyway, moving on.
Well, I have a drunken wedding story too.
Oh, I bet you it's great.
So this groom and his groomsmen, I was photographing their wedding. They were outside and they were all sipping on apple pie moonshine. And people always at weddings, they always offer me drinks. They always like, "Oh, you want a drink? Want to have a beer?" I'm like, "No, no, I don't."
Being polite, you can appreciate that they're being courteous.
Oh, I do. I always thank them. Like, "Oh, I appreciate, thanks, but on the clock, doing my job here." And I've actually made the comparison, like if I hired people to like, do a job at my house, like put a roof on or something, like I'd be a little bit irritated if I saw them drinking on the job.
Absolutely.
So I don't drink while I'm working. I think it's just, common sense, trying to be, professional. Anyway, so they were drinking this moonshine and I told them, I'm like, you guys better be careful. I'm like, that stuff sneaks up on you. I'm like, it's like the alcohol is just hidden in deliciousness. And next thing you know, like they're pretty well, they're hammered. And they like after the ceremony was over, they kept drinking it. And the groom, like we're doing some photos and the bride was like, "Oh, she's like, I want to do that." We talked about doing this big dip shot on this hill. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm like, he's pretty tuned in. I'm like, I'd be afraid he's going to like drop you. And she's like, "Oh no." She's like, he'll be fine. I'm like, "Okay." So put him on this hill. I'm like, "All right, man." I'm like right beside him, like, "Do not drop her. Like, do not drop her." And he's like, eyes are like glazed over and he's like, "I got
Oh no."
Oh, he's like, "I got this, man." I'm like, "All right, man." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, still don't think it's a good idea. Well, he dropped her and they rolled down this hill together. And she was pissed. I mean, it was like such an "I told you so" moment. Of course I didn't say anything. I just felt bad. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like let's, fix you." And anyway, so like fast forward, like during his dance with his mother on the dance floor, like I can see he's still visibly like really intoxicated. And he's like stammering about with his mom, like trying to maintain his balance. And he starts making that face where like his cheeks puff a little bit. And he's like, it looks like he's about to vomit.
Oh no.
And like as mean as this was, I turned to my assistant who was with me. I said, "Don't stop taking pictures." If he barfs during this dance, like we have to photograph this for the family. Like this has to be documented. Oh yeah, but he did not puke. He didn't, for the record. He held it together. All right. Well,
Wow.
let's keep going. We'll try and get it.
I'm gonna cherry pick some favorites out of here.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of time
long-
left here.
It's a long list here, but yeah. Let's see. Where the hairstyle the bride chooses. Yeah. Here's the one. I will not attempt to outdo the bride in any way.
I knew it. That's where all these were leading up to. She just spelled it out in that one.
And we're honestly like that should have that could have been just the one thing on the contract. But yeah, it goes down here like no colored contact lenses, no eyebrow coloring, glossy lipstick, colorful nails, all that stuff.
Number 26 here says, I understand that I have to purchase a bachelorette party t-shirt and fund my own trip if it is a getaway. Or if it's away. Yeah, but yeah. Is that right to do? Is that right to do? Like
I think these are conversations. I think some of this stuff makes sense. Like even like go back to number one. Like I won't try to convince you to do anything. That's a conversation that you have. This the fact that it's a signed contract makes all of these things awful just by default because you're kind of dehumanizing it and dehumanizing the person who has to do it, right? Because I'd be offended. I'd be like, you don't trust me to just have this conversation with me. Like if you're going to tell me, hey, I'd like you to be in the party, but we're going to do an away bachelorette. It's, going to cost a bit. Like, are you okay with that? That's just a one-on-one conversation. I feel like if you're going to have someone in your wedding party, and I realize that I might not be in the majority in this here, but if you're special enough to be in a special moment in my life, I should probably be able to talk to you about this kind of stuff.
No colored, no colored contacts. Like,
no colored contacts.
I love the very last one. I will agree to save at least $50 a month for expenses for the next 14 months. If you were presented a contract to be in somebody's wedding,
I would fold it into a paper airplane and throw it back in their face. Pointy end.
Like, first of all, I don't believe that. Not saying that the guy wouldn't do this, but from my experience in wedding, I've never seen this anyway. So the fact that it even exists is weird. I'm not even saying that women would be more, I don't know, likely to do this. I'm trying to not dig myself a hole here, but for the most part, guys at a wedding are pretty just chill. They're, sort of along for the ride, if you will. Like they've been told everything, like what to do. I mean, guys forget their socks and stuff half the time.
Yep.
They're all there just to have fun. And so are the girls. Like the girls are all there. It's a fun day. That's what I witness all the time. So I wouldn't even say that this is like, a girl or guy thing most likely to do. I think this is just a insane control freak who wants to like to see this through. So I'm kind of unbearing myself here. I don't think it comes down to gender. This just comes down to personality.
It comes down to crazy, but you're right. Yeah. I mean, typically, culturally, yeah, the guys that are involved in a wedding tend to be. Our culture has really driven that, right? Stereotypically or practically, and you see it more than I do. But yeah, it's just like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know. Typically, there's always exceptions to that generalization.
Yeah,
but yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I can't. Oh no, I mean, no way. I'd be like, have fun at your wedding. Like, I might not even go. I don't know. Let alone be in the party.
Yeah, there was something in there too I saw about kids. Like, don't bring your children. Don't bring a significant other.
Oh yeah, unless pre-approved. Unless
pre-approved. So your boyfriend has to be like vetted by the bride.
It's weird. You got a +1, you got a +1. Like, right. You got a +1, you got a +1.
With an asterisk besides upon approval.
On approval.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Can you imagine her just like sitting there, like looking at all the +1s, like, no, not him. Like, really?
Some people. I was at a wedding one time. The just for control freak, the bride like was upset with the flowers because the florist didn't have exactly the kind of flowers she requested. I was witnessing this. The florist explained they didn't have those flowers. They weren't looking as good from their supplier. So they substituted something else in so the aesthetic would still be consistent, right? She wanted the best bouquet. Mm-hmm. She was having none of it. None of it. I'm watching this florist in the back of their van reassemble the bouquet on the fly. So what happened next is the bride's bouquet throughout the wedding is
falling apart. Yeah.
Falling apart. Every time she moves, a bit of the bouquet kind of just like drops because it's not tightly bound anymore. Like they did that at the florist office. Oh, I felt so bad.
I mean, I get it because like, you know, the girls, like they have the vision in their head, like to like everything they want to see and, you know, have and have documented like this vision. Guys aren't quite like that, you know, for a wedding day. You know, they get approached for, you know, decisions as far as like, you know, like, hey, what do you think about this, you know, centerpiece? Like, man, it looks fine to me. Like,
I enjoyed picking my tux out for the wedding, right? Like
that part's fun. Yeah.
That was actually kind of fun because how much you don't do that. I don't do that very often, right? Like last time I did that, I was going to prom, so it was like, okay, I get to pick out a tux. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That was the end of my agency for my wedding.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we should wrap this one up. You have a meeting here in about a minute, don't you?
I do indeed.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap this one up, guys. Thank you all for checking us out again. We'll see you next Monday.
See you next Monday.